Hi viewers, I welcome you to this Programming World channel. In this channel, we posting the videos to help you to learn C programming. So in the same way, now we are going to discuss about the very important concept in programming, that is what functions. Okay, so I move to this session. What is function? So the function, it is what actually a block of statements which are used to execute a particular task or tasks, okay, which are required to do repeatedly. So the task which is to be executed in a program, it is what required again and again as per the logic or the program implementation. Okay, so what is the exact purpose of having a function? The sense to avoid a repetition of codes in our program file. Okay, so only once you can have a statement, okay, that could be called wherever it is required. So repeatedly we can execute a block of statements without having what repetition of the code in our code file. Okay, and one more thing, it is used to implement modular programming, in the sense the total functionalities required to execute in the program, which is decomposed into the different modules. Okay, so we go with what different uh, functions that we have to identify, and we assign the functions. I mean, functions is what the task which should be executed by a particular module in our program. Okay, right. So what is the benefit of using, in the sense? So the function which reduces the code file length, because instead of repeating the same statement again and again in our code, we just execute the code again and again just by calling it. So that is the exact the role of what having the function in the code. So automatically it reduces the file length. And one more thing, it is providing a kind of feature like code readability, because instead of what having the same statement again and again in our file, we just put it to one place and we calling wherever it is required. So it is what very what comfortable way to understand the code and also understand about the kind of functionalities executed in the program. Okay, easily we can differentiate the code and also the logic. And finally, it helps to maintain the code. So the functions which helps to maintain the code, in the sense if you want to make any changes in future, so you can identify which function to be changed. So we have to change the coding part, only the corresponding function. So rest of the functions could be what continued as it is. Okay, so here I give you a very simple real-time example. If you take our house, okay, so we are the house owner. Okay, so what we doing is we have different tasks in our house to do. Okay, but actually the house owner, what he will do, he cannot able to execute everything. Please understand, house owner is what actually a main function. Okay, the main program. Okay, the main program that that can able to do all the tasks. But what is the problem here, in the sense if you dump everything into a single person, okay, we have so many problems in what handling and also maintaining in future. Yeah, if you ask our house owners, or what I mean your father or your mother, if they're doing what all tasks in a home, what is the problem, in the sense they unable to focus completely and also giving output very expected manner. Okay, such a kind of problem we have. So that's why what house owner do know, so they will appoint people for doing different tasks in a house. You see, for cooking they can appoint a chef. Okay, so that chef will take care of what cooking also. So the cook will be appointed for preparing the food in a house. Then housekeeping, that will be taken care by a person, a servant, okay, who will be appointed to clean the house and also maintain the house very perfectly. Then a washerman may be appointed to clean the clothes and also maintain the clothes in a perfect manner. And finally, there may be a gardener will be appointed to maintain the garden as per perfect way, okay, as per the required and also expected level. Okay, so you can see that the house owner will appoint different people to do the different kinds of tasks. Okay, so here the different role of people are all what different functions are required to implement by a house owner, but the house owner unable to do that. That's why he identify people and also allocating the task what they have to do in their house. And one more thing here you can find, so simply appointing the people cannot help to get the work. So whatever they require, those things should be arranged and also that should be given to them. After then only we can see their performance in terms of what the output. Okay, so here the input is required and also we can expect outputs from the each person who were appointed for carrying out the task at a home. Okay, so here I would like to give the syntax of a function, how it can be taken into the program level. So the very first one is what the return type. So return type, it represents the kind of response what you may get from the person, or we can say like function. And here you can see within bracket we have what arguments. Okay, so arguments, that's about what we giving some input to the function. Okay, the function takes some input from outside to do the task. As I told you, if you take the cook, okay, he wants to have all ingredients, vegetables, everything to prepare the food. So that is what the arguments to the cook to take the input from the house owner. Afterwards he prepares the food that will be given to the house owner. That is what the return type. Okay, so the block of statement, that's about what how he can prepare a food or a meal. Okay, that is what the task which is assigned to the cook. The same way the function which has what the responsibility to implement in a program. So here you can find what is the meaning of return type. Okay, so return type, it represents what the kind of response or the data will be returned by the function. And here you can see you can use the return type data, return type of the data based on the functionality of the module. In the sense, if the function should return something in the sense, so what kind of data, so accordingly you can identify the kind of data type to be used for that. Suppose the function should not return anything, simply it can take the input and also without input also it can do. But whatever it is, suppose the function it is not returning anything in the sense, so we can go with what the void. So void, it represents nothing will be returned from a function. Okay, then arguments, as I told you, the arguments, that's about what taking the input to the function. So you can have more than one argument also, and also the different types of arguments, in the sense the different types of data, because the input to the function that represent what the kind of data we give it to the function to handle. So all the arguments, they are having their required data type to carry the data to the function. Okay, then here you can see the different examples according to the role of the functions to be executed or required in the application program. So if you have a function, it does not take any input and it does not give any output. So what a kind of syntax we have to follow? The example, you can see that void then display. In that function, you can see that it is what only displaying the result. Okay, it does not take any input from the function because that is completely the argument is what empty. There you can see that there is no arguments. Okay, there is no argument in the function, you can see that. Okay, but actually it is what no argument, but it is doing some task like displaying the result, and it does not give any value return back to the caller. So we are going with void. Okay, so void return type, it does not return anything from the function. Okay, so example 2, you can see that the function will take an input, but there is no output from the function. So here you can see the kind of syntax to be followed for that. So the return type, it is what as it is the example 1, that is what void, but the display function, it takes a very input like int x. Okay, so the int x, that is what the input to the function. Okay, that will be taken into your function to do something. So here I have given a task like display the result of the value stored in the variable x. Okay, then model 3, so here you can see that the function will take input and also it provides output. So in such cases, how our function should be. So here you can see a simple example. We have a function like addition. Okay, it takes two arguments like int x and y, and it has to add the two inputs like x plus y. Okay, that will be used to add those two variables. Then the result of that addition should be returned to the caller. So here you can see that this is what actually integer addition. So the result will be what integer type. That's why we are using what int instead of void. Okay, if you use void, there is no return statement. But actually, if you go with what integer as a return type, then you have to return type in the sense return statement. It is, please understand, if void is used, no return statement. But other than void, if you use, then you have to use return statement to state that the data will be returned to the caller. Okay, yes. So that's all about the example point of view in functions. So far we have discussed about the function, definition of the function, and then what about the syntax required for defining the function. After then I told you the different models of the function. Okay, so here you can see the first model of the function, that is what the function does not take any input and also it does not return anything. So here in our C programming, before our main function we have to declare our function. In the sense, the main function, in the main function, when you use the caller statement without defining the function, okay, if you use it, then the function should be declared as we declare in a variable. Then only the main program or compiler that can able to recognize this is what an element declared already, so that has to be used in the code. So for the case we have to declare our function. Okay, right. Afterwards you see this is what actually function definition, in the sense what the function has to do. Okay, this is what exactly the function task, okay, what it has to do in the program. Okay, this is what actually from the main program we give only what the function name as what display, because no need to use the return type when you call the function from any functions, right? So here main is what actually caller, okay, that calls its function, so you have to name only the function. Okay, and also this function does not take any inputs, so simply you have to give like display of nothing. Okay, so automatically this function will be called. So when this line is executed, automatically this will be executed, so you will get this output. So I am from display, like that you will get the output. You can see that now. Yeah, now you can see there is no warning, so now you can see the output which is made. As I told you, this function is not, it does not take any input from the main, but actually it is what it is called for executing a task. Okay, so no input and also no return back to the main function. There is no return data to the main function. You can see that. Okay, so this is a very first model of our function. Okay, then second model of the function, here you can see that, you see in this program you can see both two models of the function. One is what actually, so here you can see that the display function takes a variable and displays the value stored in the variable. Okay, then in the second function you can see that int add, it takes what two arguments, as I discussed in the example. Okay, it takes two arguments a and b, and also it returns what the sum of them. So here you can see that int result is equal to add of 5, 4. I call that this function to do what? Addition. Okay, find the sum of a and b. Okay, so add of 5, 4, it returns the value. So that's why we are using what? Assignment operator. So whenever the value will be returned, so the assignment operator which is required, okay, that has to be assigned to a variable, or you can take it to the printf statement also, I mean output statement also. Okay, but actually what I'm doing here is I take the result into a temporary variable like result. Afterwards I give that result variable as an input to the display function. It has to display the value which is given in the result. So here result, this is what actually given to what? X. Okay, the value of result that will be copied to the variable X. This is what actually called by value type. In the sense, the value given the result that will be copied to the variable x, and through that this function will execute the statement, output statement, and display the value which is stored in the variable x. Please understand one thing, the result variable value which is copied to x. Okay, so that's why we name it as what? Call by value. We name it as what? Call by value. Okay, this value will be given to x. Okay, so result variable also will be resided in our memory, and x also will be in the memory. So it is what actually local variable. So here you see it is an argument, and x, it is what? The local variable of display. Okay, if you modify anything in the x, that may not reflect this result variable, because separate copies are maintained. In the sense what, you have a notes, okay, you take a copy and give it to your friend. So whatever modified by your friend, that may not be reflected in your original copy. Okay, so that's the thing you have to understand in this. Okay, so in this example, you can find two models of function. One is what? Input but no output, that is in display. And another one is what? Input and also output you can find in a function, that is what? Addition. It takes two inputs and also find the sum of them, and that value which is returned as a output to the caller. Okay, I hope you people understand the meaning of function and also the importance of the function. Okay, and you can identify what three different kinds of models we have in function, and we have discussed about what the function call by value type. Okay, so like that we have discussed the different concepts which are hidden in our function programming element. I hope you people understand about the function. Please use this function whenever your application code is what? Very lengthy. So try to reduce by using what? The function, wherever you have the same set of statements to be executed multiple times. Okay, so thank you for watching this. The people, those who are watching and also watching this video, and also those who are new to this channel, I request you please subscribe and also stay with us. Definitely you will get new videos which can help you to improve your programming skills and also the problem solving skills. So like that we have created the list playlist also. You can see those videos also to improve your logical skills, problem solving skills, how we can take into the programming. So thank you for watching this. Thank you.